On Global TV News Express, President returns to Abuja after state visit to Turkey. In business, United States Nigeria launch a 5-year investment partnership. And on the foreign scene, Israel partially reopened Rafah crossing for limited civilian movement. And in sport, Alcaraz beats Djokovic, clinches historic Australian Open title. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. And now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has returned to Nigeria after a state visit to the Republic of Turkey and was received by senior government officials. The president traveled to Turkey on January 26, 2026 as part of efforts to strengthen diplomatic, economic and security ties between Abuja and Ankara, following Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's official visit to Nigeria on October 2021. During the visit, both leaders signed 9 memoranda of understanding aimed at expanding bilateral trade from $2 billion to $5 billion, while also sealing agreements on energy, defense cooperation, education, media, and halal quality infrastructure to boost Nigeria's agricultural exports. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has called for reactivation of a regional standby force to address growing insecurity across West Africa and the Sahel, urging neighboring countries to deepen intelligence sharing and collective action against terrorism. The president's position was conveyed by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, at a security conference held in Accra, Ghana, where Nigeria reaffirmed its commitment to regional peace and stability. Tinubu also highlighted Nigeria's National Counter-Terrorism Center in Abuja as a potential intelligence and operations hub, while warning that terrorist groups are increasingly exploiting cyberspace to spread misinformation and undermine regional security. Vice President Kashim Shettima has formally welcomed Taraba State Governor Agbo Kefas into the All Progressive Congress (APC), describing the ruling party as one where political differences are resolved through inclusion, performance, and national purpose. Speaking in Jalingo on behalf of President Bola Tinubu, Shettima said Kefas' decision to defect from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) strengthens national cohesion and positions Taraba State to benefit more directly from federal policy on agriculture, energy, and infrastructure. The Senate President, APC national leadership, and other party stakeholders described the move as strategic, while Governor Kefas said his defection was driven by the need to accelerate development and create better opportunities for youths and communities in the state. The federal government says it's engaging the United States through diplomatic channels to secure Nigeria's removal from the list of countries affected by Washington's recent immigrant visa restrictions. The U.S. had on January 14 announced an immigrant visa pause affecting 75 countries, including Nigeria, with the directive taking effect from January 21, 2026, raising concerns among Nigerians seeking permanent residency and employment opportunities in America. Speaking with newsmen, the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimebi Ibiefa, said visa issuance remains the sovereign right of nations, but assured that Nigeria is in active dialogue with U.S. authorities, stressing that the federal government remains committed to protecting Nigerians abroad and strengthening bilateral relations with Washington. while expressing optimism that Nigeria would be delisted once identified concerns are resolved. The federal government has commenced the training of 100 Ogoni youths in mechatronics to boost human capacity development and sustainable livelihood in Ogoniland. The training, which is under the Federal Ministry of Environment, is being conducted through the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, that is HEPREP. Environmental correspondent Ubong Usoro reports.
The federal government says the training of 100 Ogoni youths in mechatronics is part of efforts to boost human capital development and promote sustainable livelihoods in Ogoniland. The project coordinator of HYPER, Professor Nene Barini Zabi, represented by Director of Technical Services, Professor Damian Paul Aguyi, said the initiative reflects the federal government's resolve to move beneficiaries from low-end to high-end skills acquisition.
I plead to you, my brothers and sisters, to please, let's take this training with all the seriousness it deserves, and let's apply what we learn.
Professor Zabi noted that mechatronics program is one of the 10 high-end skills training scheduled for rollout this year, stressing that HYPEP is committed to delivering their best training opportunities to the people of Ogoni. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Ogunari Joshua, said Nigeria needs globally relevant and economically viable skills to drive national development. He urged the trainees to maximize the opportunity through dedication and discipline.
This initiative is aimed at building technical capacity in mechatronics engineering among the youths of Ogoni. You are therefore being equipped with skills that are globally relevant and economically empowering.
The trainer, Makosi Samuel, disclosed that the 4-month program will combine theoretical instruction with intensive hand-on practical sessions. He said the training will equip participants with problem-solving skills for complex engineering challenges, preparing them for teamwork and project management in modern digital oil and gas industries, and instill strict adherence to safety, environmental, and ethical standards.
Firstly, I know that this is a training that will create platform for sharing ideas, fostering relationship, and celebrating achievements. The training is not just about the event itself, but about the opportunity it presents. It will impact on them significantly in capacity building.
The 100 beneficiaries were selected through a computer-based test conducted in February 2023. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, says it will deploy more than 3,000 bimodal voters accreditation system, BVAS. Devices for the Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections scheduled for February 21, 2026. INEC officials disclosed that about 3,345 BVAS devices will be deployed across the 2,822 polling units in the FCT, with some used directly for voters' accreditation, while others will serve as backup to ensure a hitch-free process. The Commission is also expected to conduct a mock voter accreditation exercise in February to test the devices and electronic transmission of results ahead of the polls across the 6 area council of Abaji, Amak, Buari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, and Kwali, where 66 elective positions would be contested by 637 candidates filled by 17 political parties. Getting home safely has become a daily gamble for millions of commuters on the Federal Capital Territory and its environs. This is because as public transport systems fail, criminal networks have stepped in, posing as commercial drivers and turning routine journeys into terrifying ordeals. Sadia Yakubu gives us the backdrop of public transportation and how it continues to fuel the deadly one-chance phenomenon.
This is one of the busiest bus stops in the city, but as night approaches, government-owned buses disappear, regulated transport systems shut down, and commuters are left with one option: unregistered, unverified vehicles. This is where the nightmare often begins. Known on the street as One Chance, these criminal operators disguise themselves as public transport. Victims are robbed, assaulted, kidnapped, and in some cases, killed.
You go see them, they will come bus stop like this. Instead of them to enter motorway, they bus stop. They no go gree enter. They go do sharp. Before you know, One Chance where they park. Because One Chance need they park. One Chance, no, they need they park their motor. Say we make them park. Because if them park, they go cast. Because all of us there now, we are ready to start taxi.
In many cities, public buses are too few, poorly maintained, or completely absent after working hours. Rail systems are unreliable. Transport policies are inconsistent. The result, depression.
Joblessness is one of it. And idleness, laziness, let me put it that way, because some people, they feel getting a mere job that will pay them few money. No, they want fast money, they want quick money. So they feel one way for them to get it is by ripping off people at their hard-earned money.
These criminals study commuters' behavior. They know when transport shuts down. That's when attacks peak. Despite repeated promises of reform, commuters say little has changed until public transport works for everyone. Every day and night, the street remains unsafe.
I think like hardship. Some people like me, I can't follow all this one chance. Me, I struggle on my own. I'm a taxi driver. So those people doing all this is lack of job. They don't have anything to do, so they fall doing the wrong things, doing the one chance.
Solving the one chance menace is not just about arrest. It's about fixing the system that enables it. Until public transport becomes safe, reliable, and accessible, the journey home will remain a dangerous one for many. A broken system with deadly consequences as commuters continue to demand safe transport. The question remains, how many more must suffer before real change begins? Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
The United Nations Children's Fund, that is UNICEF, has deployed a full-time technical expert to Benue State to respond to the worsening humanitarian crisis as the number of internally displaced persons continue to rise. UNICEF Chief of Field Service, Judith Levely, gave the assurance during a high-level visit to the Makurdi International Market IDP camp. Felicity Ndere reports.
The humanitarian situation in Benue State continues to put immense pressure on already limited resources as more families are displaced by ongoing insecurity and communal clashes, driving up demand for food, shelter, healthcare and other essential services across IDP camps.
So UNICEF doesn't work in isolation. It's really bringing the different players together.
To address some of these challenges, about 1,300 girls across IDP camps in Benue, including 100 at the Makurdi International Market camp, have received sanitary kits through a UNICEF and JASP project. The initiative is designed to promote hygiene, prevent diseases, and restore dignity for displaced girls who often lack access to basic supply. During her visit, UNICEF Chief of Field Services, Judith Levely, assessed ongoing programs and spoke with camp officials and beneficiaries, describing the situation as both encouraging for local efforts and deeply troubling given the level of deprivation faced by displaced families.
I see children need attention. These are very extremely vulnerable population, and we need to mobilize more help. This is only one of the many camps that exist in Benue State. I understand that there are more than 14. There are more than half a million people, half a million people displaced in the state. So I call on all, adults, stakeholders, authorities to really strengthen attention to the needs of the most deprived population in the Benue State.
The head of JASPI, Mrs. Patricia Siswam, said the items were selected based on the direct needs of the girls.
The exercise we are carrying out today is to support the children, especially the girls. It's mainly for the girls. And the content is to help them because as they are here, some of them don't have some of these particular kits. We are giving them, we call it essential kits.
Beneficiaries at the camp describe the kit as more than just hygiene items, saying they provide relief and restore a sense of self-respect.
I'm excited. I'm happy. At least people feel there is somebody here. People feel I'm a living thing, so I'm grateful. I'm happy. And may God bless them.
Happy because I never knew that I would get such kind of items. But as I'm here, UNICEF helped me to get this type of these items.
Organizers say the kits are essential for helping displaced girls stay clean, healthy, and maintain dignity in camp life. Each set includes reusable sanitary pads, soap, detergents, buckets, and dental supplies. At the Makurdi International Market IDP camp, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global Television News.
Still in Benue State, the Commissioner of Police, Benue State Police Command, Emenari Ifanyi, has reassured traditional rulers and displaced residents of its readiness to continue security operations in affected communities to ensure residents' safety return to their ancestral homes. Again, Felicity Ndere has the rest of the story.
The Commissioner of Police, Benue State Command, CP Emenari Ifanyi, is in Naka, the headquarters of Gwe West local government area, for an on-the-spot assessment of the newly approved area command. The visit comes as a result of heightened security efforts to address the farmer header crisis that has displaced thousands of residents from their homes.
The General Police directive was very, very straightforward. Restore peace in Benue State.
During his visit, CP Emenari met with the Tate Tyoshin and his council, assuring them that the command is fully prepared to carry out comprehensive clearance operations across all council wards to restore peace and security in all communities.
As far as police is concerned, the days of bandit impunity in Benue State, especially Gwe West, are over. They can never be allowed to establish any bandit camp in the Gwe West forest again. The Inspector General of Police have deployed enough tactical teams, including visiting mopos.
Responding to the CP's assurance, the Tate Tyoshin, His Royal Highness Daniel Nabonte, requested the establishment of police outposts in communities after the operations to boost the confidence of returnees as they resettle in their ancestral homes.
I crave your police indulgence to consider my border communities with Duma as an area of particular concern, so that your men will not only be on ground here.
The IDPs commended the command's ongoing efforts to flush out invaders and restore peace to their communities.
We are here since from 2019 till today. Even during last year, as we were saying, we go to our various places, but we do some certain farm inputs. They have grazed it all.
We were running helter-skelter, but now there is improvement in Gwe West. So we thank God.
The CP and his team also reassured the displaced persons that all the camps will be closed by December as security operations intensify. In Naka, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. News Express continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello, glad to have you with us. Let's take a look at the weather forecast for Sunday. The atmosphere is expected to be stable as no fresh dust was raised from the source region. As a result, the north and the north central will see a sunny and hazy atmosphere throughout the day. Although slight dust haze is expected in parts of Taraba, Plateau, the FCT, Kaduna, and Niger states. If you're in this region and you have respiratory conditions, please take extra care and necessary precaution. To other parts of the country, a partly cloudy morning is expected. Later during the day, there are chances of thunderstorms in parts of Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Delta, Edo, Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom states. That's the forecast. Stay with us for the temperature forecast. I am Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back from that break. Now to the world of business, where the United States and Nigeria have launched a 5-year commercial and investment partnership aimed at boosting trade, attracting private sector investment, and strengthening economic cooperation between both countries. The initiative was unveiled at a ministerial meeting in Lagos, co-chaired by U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary Brandley Makni and Nigeria's Trade and Investment Minister Jumoke Oduole, with a focus on agricultural, digital economy, and infrastructure reforms. Officials say the partnership will improve Nigeria's business environment, expand non-oil exports, and create new opportunities for investors on both sides of the Atlantic. And on the foreign scene, more than 200 people have been killed after heavily rainfall triggered deadly landslide at the Rubaya coltan mine in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, an area controlled by the M23 rebel group. Local authorities say the victims include minors, women, and children, with several others injured and many still trapped, as rescue efforts continued amid fears that the death toll may rise. Israel has reopened the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt on a trial basis, allowing sick and wounded Palestinians seek medical treatment abroad after nearly 2 years of closure. The reopening comes amid renewed Israeli airstrike that killed at least 31 Palestinians in a single day, raising the number of deaths since the ceasefire to more than 500. Health authorities says Israel's military campaign in Gaza has killed over 71,000 people since October 2023, while humanitarian conditions in the enclave continues to worsen. And now to the world of sport. Rivers United coach Finidi George has insisted that his sides must secure victory when they face Zambia's Power Dynamos in a crucial CAF Champions League group match. The Nigerian club currently has just 1 point from its opening games, leaving little room for error as they prepare to play at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. Team captain Tempo Emekaye has called on fans to turn up in large numbers to support the team in the decisive encounter scheduled for 5 p.m. Carlos Alcaraz has defeated Novak Djokovic in a 4-set 2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5 to win the 2026 Australian Open men's single title and complete a career Grand Slam, becoming just the 9th man in tennis history to achieve the feat and the youngest ever to do so at 22 years. The Spinite recovered from a blistering start by a 10-time Melbourne champions Djokovic, who took the opening set in 33 minutes before Alcaraz seized control with aggressive baseline play, breaking serve late in the 4th set to seal his first Australian Open crown at Rod Laver Arena. The victory adds Melbourne to Alcaraz's Grand Slam title from Wimbledon, the US Open and the French Open, marking a defining moment in his career and signaling a significant generational shift at the top of men's tennis. The Athletic Federation of Nigeria, AFN, and stakeholders have called for a locally managed athletic database to tackle age falsification, warning that foreign platforms alone cannot fix the issue. While welcoming the introduction of Roster Athletics, AFN President Tonobok Okowa and former athletic Enifiok Ubong and Olusoji Fasuba stressed the need for Federation's control system linked to NIN and passport verification to prevent conflicting birth dates. The move follows December 2025 alert by World Athletics Integrity Unit, which flagged 17 Nigerian athletes for age discrepancies, highlighting that governance and data integrity, not software, are key to resolving the problem. As Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has returned to Nigeria after a state visit to the Republic of Turkey and was received by senior government officials. And now in business, the United States and Nigeria have launched a 5-year commercial and investment partnership aimed at boosting trade, attracting private sector investment, and strengthening economic cooperation between both countries. And now to the foreign scene, where Israel has reopened the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt on trial basis, allowing sick, wounded Palestinians seek medical treatment abroad after nearly 2 years of closure. And finally, from the world of sport, Carlos Alcaraz has defeated Novak Djokovic in a 4-set 2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5 to win the 2026 Australian Open men's single title and completes a career Grand Slam, becoming just the 9th man in tennis history to achieve the feat and the youngest ever to do so at 22 years. And that's our package on News Express tonight. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thanks for watching.